Hello, you're back, and in this video, it's all about the season 9 trailer. There's quite a bit to talk about. Stay tuned. Since you're here, click the button and subscribe, and also click the bell and the word all for notifications. On Friday, they gave us this wonderful trailer filled with all kinds of goodies. And if you remember a few videos back, or maybe you're new to my channel, I said I was finished with speculating, and I am, but I'm not finished with observing. And I even said if there was new things that came out, I would observe and point out details, and you can speculate. So I'm going to break the trailer down from the beginning to the end. So the first thing we see is Elizabeth and, Elizabeth and Lucas, and little Jack walking through the center of town, and he being Lucas, looks like he has Elizabeth's suitcase in his hand. And they kneel down because little Jack says balloon, and they look up and they see this balloon. Now, my question is the balloon there as a surprise, or did Lucas already know that it was going to be there? And really, I don't really have much to say about this clip, but this clip leads to another clip, and I'm going to jump ahead. And that is the one where Elizabeth starts to do that voiceover, and she talks about her book being a love letter to her son and to the people in the town. And you'll see her at the door with it slightly ajar, and she's watching and listening as Lucas is reading to little Jack. And the look on her face of it's like pure joy, and you could just see it on your own. We're not questioning that. But I'm wondering, is this because was he already in the house and she came home to find this? Or is it, they were downstairs doing it up, whatever, and he said he would put little Jack to bed. The reason why I'm asking this is if you look closely at this scene, and this is just me, you have to actually, even if I put it up here for you, you really need to look at it on a television, on the TV. And you have to go up close, and you could see, I think that Lucas does not have his boots on. I think that he has them off. So there he is on the edge of the bed sitting, his one leg is under the other, and it looks like those are his socks. And he's that comfortable, that intimate, which tells me it's not the first time that he is reading with little Jack. And one of the things that I had predicted early on is that we would see more of, Lucas with little Jack becoming a dad. I even have a video about Lucas the dad and why he'd be great at it. But also that there's this book connection. There has been a book connection with Elizabeth and Lucas from the beginning, and it is carrying over into their relationship as a couple and with little Jack. You'll see a stack of books on the table, and or in the night table, and he's reading to little Jack. So when you look around the room, you're going to see in the corner, as many people have already noticed because you're great detectives, Hearties, you're going to see a mobile, people each pronounce it differently, and it is of clouds with a balloon. And I'm wondering, what is it, because that balloon was already there and little Jack was fascinated with it? That is why it came to the town. There could be no connection between the two at all. Or is it because the balloon came to the town and little Jack loved it so much they bought the mobile for him? That's a question for you to speculate on. Either way, it's sentimental. There's more to the story, and the set decorator is she's the best. So now I wanted to talk about the room. There's a nod to his father, to little Jack's father, with the lamp with the horse on it, which I love. And then there's also, you could see there is a photograph of something, of some sort. I think it's a photograph. I don't think it's like a picture or a drawing, but it might be a photograph of his dad, which would be so wonderful. Someone had questioned what would they do. I think they were being a little snarky. And I don't like to do snarky in here, but I think someone was like, oh, what are they going to do with all the photos of her and Jack? And I was like, they're going to put them in little Jack's room. That is the dad. And of course, Lucas is going to be absolutely fine with it. That he's going to, I know he is going to honor Jack's memory. He's going to do a great job with it. So anyway, I wanted you to look at all those little tidbits. Tell me, am I crazy? Does he have his shoes off? Or his boots off? I really want to know. I'm like, Lucas is that comfortable. He's got his boots off. He's on the bed, putting little LJ to sleep, and he's reading to him. And I love it. You know, I always have to say I love it, but I love it. Okay, the next thing I wanted to look at is her surprise party. So I always felt that she would do a book signing in Hope Valley. How could she not, right? I thought that maybe it would be in the library, like people would come in, line up, but I'm so happy that it's in the Saloon. And we had seen in all throughout the summer some hints that something was going on in the Saloon with the bunting and the, you know, that beige, creamy, or maybe even rosy color. And we knew it wasn't Christmas and it didn't go with, you know, Thanksgiving fall colors. And I was like, I think maybe it's a book signing. And here it is. It's a book signing for Elizabeth. And of course, it's going to be romantic and over the top and not in the library because Lucas, her love, owns the Saloon, and her best friend Rosemary, I'm sure she had her hand into it, and they made it this big, grand, gorgeous affair. Now, when you zero in on the table that's there, of course, there's a bouquet of gorgeous flowers for her, but her book is there. And then you'll see her signing and then handing the book over, you know, to people that are buying it. Do you think that on the cover is little Jack with his little cap on? Do you think it's, you know, even though this is like, you know, a single mother's life on the frontier, right? I think that it has to do with Jack. You know, she said a single mother, not woman, and he's on the cover. I don't know. Am I seeing that correctly? You look at that. You let me know. That's something you could put in the comments along with if Lucas is in his socks or not. Or I don't know. It just thrills me to think that he is that comfortable. Okay, another thing I'm noticing is the crowd. Now, it could mean nothing. It really could just be they're all lined up. But I'm not quite even sure where this is going to fall in the storyline. The storyline has had me confused from the very beginning, and I still am not even sure how it goes or what's going to happen, and if something is like a flashback with her voiceover, because we do hear her in a voiceover saying why she even wrote the book. That doesn't mean the clips that they're taking of the voiceover actually match the clips that we're seeing. I'm just saying we know that she's going to be doing that. So when you look at the crowd and they're like, surprise, which I think is hilarious, look at who was standing like behind Rosemary. It looks like Weinman. I mean, it could be somebody totally different, but it really looks like him. Check it out. I even let Janine Marie, if you don't know who Janine Marie is. Janine Marie is the Luca Beth writer. She writes fan fiction. She has been on my channel. She is a champion of Wayne Calls the Heart, and she's very good at edits. And I said, look at this. I don't want to say who I think it is because I don't want to like put that thought in your head. And she looked at it and she goes, Wyman. She thinks it's Wyman too, or it could at least look like him. But that would be curious, like. Who is behind them? It could be just a background actor or an extra in the town. But what if it is like a bigger character like Weinman? Isn't that interesting? Why would he be at the book signing? What are we missing there? What's going on? What's transpired? Also, look at May. She's right up front, right there, as if Elizabeth already knows her or she has some kind of relationship with Lucas. Right? I don't know, but she's right there up front. She's not off to the side or the back, but she's like, surprise, right there with all of them. So I'm like, is this like because it's a promo shot and they want to tease us as viewers, or is there a message being sent there? So that's just like another thing for you to comment about. There's like many things for you to comment about. Okay, now I'm going to move on and I want to check out, we've got Nathan. Now, Nathan has the stash on. He even has his mustache in the part where we see them saying surprise. So that's what makes me think it's early on in the storyline. So he has his mustache and he's riding the horse, and it looks like in the background you could see a little bit of that car is coming out of town and he's trying to go in, and it takes him by surprise. I'm not saying that that car is trying to mow him down, but one of the first prediction videos I did was about all of the vehicles that we're going to see in Hope Valley, more of them. There's even a gas station now, and we see Joseph, being a mechanic and working under one of the cars. I believe it was Lucas's in one of the behind the scenes. But I had predicted that there was going to be like and not like a level of danger, not that someone's going to run over and killed, but just, people on horses having to get used to the industrialization now of the town and more cars, and almost have like a crash. And you see that look on Nathan's face. Do I think he's going to get hurt? No, but I feel like it's like a message. I know I'm speculating here, but is it like a message of what's to come? Is it early on in the story and it makes us as viewers start to think? I don't know. That's my question to you. Do you think there's something sinister there, or do you think it's just like oh my goodness, he almost crashed with a car? And I don't recognize the car. I don't think it belongs to Lee, or it's not Lucas's car. It's definitely not Gowan's car. I don't know who it belongs to. Maybe it's just no one we really know. I'm not sure, but then again, that's for you to speculate and for you to put in the comments. There's so much for you to put in the comments that I expect like a boatload of comments, and we'll be chatting back and forth. I try my best to say something and respond to every one of them to let you know I've acknowledged it and I've zeroed it into my head, because it is my goal to go back through the storyline, and as different people's predictions or speculations are confirmed, we'll point them out. That will be so much fun, because every Monday after When Calls the Heart has premiered, and the new episode is shown on a Sunday, every Monday night at 8:00, Kathy Watkins and I will be reviewing the episode. I think we're going to do it at 8, because I know Luca Beth lounges too, and I don't want to collide with their times. I want us all to have our time, so I'll have more about that. But anyway, I digress like I always do. I even do that in the classroom. All right, now back on track. Okay, then we have Henry. Now, we had a hint that something was going to go down big with Henry in his past. Like, we know he had redemption, he was forgiven, but this past season, like, they brought it back up. And then we find the Pinkerton with that name, and then, the Spurlock name. And at the end, there's a bit of a conversation between Bill and Henry, and Henry's handing over this document, and Bill's like, you're naming yourself in this document about investigating what really happened in the mine. And he goes, I know. And he's like, well, you could go to jail. And he's like, I know. But I think after all those years, it's just eating away at him, and he wants to be a better man, especially now that he's had this, relationship with his son. There's more to life. And we've heard him with, Gowan's little Gowanisms, but they really call them Martinisms when he changes the dialogue around a little bit. It's very poetic. But anyway, you see him standing there. And if you are paying attention, one scene, you can hear him saying, I feel like I can't outrun my past. I believe he's talking to Elizabeth. They do have a very good connection, the two of them. But then you see him looking into the mine shaft, and they are actually filming from inside the mine and looking, and you could see him out there looking in. It's kind of sad and ominous. And I have to tell you, when I saw that part, it made me emotional. It made me have the chills. And I'm remembering from the very beginning, what Gowan was like, and he was a bit scary, and how much he has changed. What a beautiful storyline for him. And I'm wondering, are we finally going to get to resolve that? Do you think we're going to fully see him come to terms with it and resolve it so that we could move on in the storyline for him? Or do you always think it's going to be a shadow that is there following him? I don't know. That's my question to you. What do you think? You think it'll get resolved this year? There'll be complete redemption. Maybe he'll be a hero. I don't know. Just let me know. Okay. Now let's talk about this part of the scene. This is where we see Nathan in the middle of town, and riding by is May, right? May Sue? May Sue. And May is coming by, and as she's riding by on her horse, she's like, Constable. And he's got like this look on his face. And do you think it's like a look of, he's intrigued, or is it a little bit of a look of confusion? And I do know that he was wondering, because from the old clip that we saw, he was wondering if she was the one on the brown quarter horse that came flying in. And she kind of evades him by, asking him a question with his question. And I'm wondering if now he's like looking is this before their conversation? I don't know. But don't you think he looks confused? It's not really, maybe he saw her somewhere else and he's like, oh, maybe that's her. I don't know. I just think that is very intriguing. You know, you can leave your comments below about where you think that one's going also. I do know that Kevin McGarry did an interview. And when he was in the interview, he talked about 3 women. He said there are 3 available lovely ladies in Hope Valley, and that would be Fiona, Faith, and May Sue. And he said he has like a connection with all 3. That, you know, he's still trying to get over his feelings for Elizabeth. Not that he's reeling, you know, not that it's this big major tragedy, but I mean, he loved her. So he's still trying to heal from that. So he's probably a little leery about jumping into a relationship. And I don't think the writers will make him jump, you know, head on in already. I think, you know, this is more of a storyline about him coming to terms with himself. But anyway, back to this. He did say that he had a mustache and then a certain, you know, barber in the town shaved the mustache. And he kind of hinted as, you know, Faith and he might have a little thing there. Not Faith, I'm sorry, Fiona and he. And then he talks about he and Faith are first responders, so they'll be together a lot. And I'm thinking, yeah, maybe this year they're going to be together quite a bit because there's like all kinds of adventure and danger happening. So the 2 of them will be responding together. And we also saw that behind the scenes where the constable's jacket is left on the bed in the hospital. I mean, it could be any constable's jacket, but I'm wondering if it's his. But anyway, there was a hint there. And then he hinted, of course, at the new character, May, because he says that she's coming with a bit of mystery and that something from her past would require the law. So I don't know if it's to help her, protect her, or maybe it's to grab her, get her, arrest her. Do you remember that they showed the paddy wagon like being taken out, but they don't let you know who's inside? Oh, that's interesting. That's not in this clip. That was a behind the scenes we saw a while back. Okay, and then the last one. Oh my gosh, OMG, there's a fire. But I predicted that all along because we heard the actors say kaboom, we're going out with a bang, you know, all that. And then we saw the fire truck, and I covered that in one of my videos around 7:02 or 3 in one of my prediction videos that says what goes kaboom in Hope Valley. Actually, I'll link it in the description if you want. So anyway, we're looking at this. We know it's the saloon and we can see into the saloon. There is a fire already going on in the saloon. And we see 2 gentlemen with a fire hose trying to put it out. We even hear someone scream fire. Who is it you think that's running into the saloon? As they're running in, you can see that they have a hat that sort of falls to the ground and they have a scarf on. Now, when I look at it, it does not look like Lucas to me. And then someone said, you know, Henry always wears a scarf and a hat. It doesn't look like his legs. I can't figure this out. Is it Bill? Who is it? But I'm curious to know what you think. Now, I'm wondering, is it Lucas? Is he one of the people holding the hose, or where is Lucas in all of this? Now, somehow, some way, someone goes and gets Elizabeth. And we know that whoever gets her leads her to the center of town, and you could see her back is towards like in the background, you could see how she's facing to the saloon, because behind her you will see the court house or the office of the mayor, and then off to the side you can see where the jail is. So she's standing there and she has a horse with her. I don't know if she brought the horse. She's holding on to the reins of the horse, if the horse was there beforehand. But this is the horse that Lucas rides. He's been out riding with her and the horse. You can see some people were thinking maybe it was Jack's. It's definitely not Jack's, because Jack's horse has white going down the front, but it's very narrow. This horse has a broader white going down to the, you know, the nose. So it's Lucas's horse. I don't know exactly what that means, but something is happening. And she's very scared and nervous. So people are thinking this is where the pause comes, and that maybe the tragedy of almost losing him or him getting hurt is the pause. And I just don't know about that. I don't know that the pause is anything. I know, from promotions, they put things in there that make us want to do this, speculate and get us going. So the pause can be 1,001 things. But then not much after that, you'll see Elizabeth and Rosemary standing out in the field together, and they've got each other's hands. They're not real close, but they're talking to each other, and it looks like she's got like a seriousness and a worried look on her face, she being Elizabeth, but you see this gentle, almost words of wiser, I call them, smile and look on Rosemary's face, and she's holding her hands. And I think they're having a big friend moment. It kind of looks to me maybe sort of like the whole conversation. She's her words of wiser often. She's been her words of wiser when they were making the gingerbread house, and she got that look on her face, Elizabeth, and Rosemary's like telling her, you lost your husband. You just lost your husband. It's okay to have sad moments. It's your first Christmas that, it's her second Christmas without him, and it was LJ's first birthday, and it's okay to feel that way. And then also that same look of Elizabeth and Rosemary was from season 8 when she's saying, you had to find your way, and you're going to find your way, and you're going to throw your whole being into it once you figure it out. So I feel like they had that kind of a look. Do you think that's what they're having, is a big conversation about Elizabeth's future? It doesn't necessarily have to be about Lucas either. It could be about her getting certified to be able to teach the blind. It could be something about her career. Maybe her writing career is taking off and she's got to make a choice. I don't know, but what do you think? Okay. All right, I am going to stop there, and I cannot wait to see what your speculations are. And before you go, I want to tell you that next month, February, is Love-uary, and for we Hearties, it's going to look a little different. I'm going to have the Hearties Sunday School, and I'll tell you more about this, but I'm going to have lives. I'm going to have Crystal from the Lilac House. She is all about Dollar Tree, and she is going to lead our Sunday school classes, and she's going to show us things that we could make for a premiere party, and it's fun, so you get to join in real time. I'll give you more information like that. And then I also have something the Sunday before the premiere. I have the girls from the Luca Beth Lounge. I have Janine Marie, my partner Kathy Watkins, and we are going to speculate on all the little tidbits that have been shared with me by the actors through my interviews, things that they openly told us, and I have them listed, and we're just going to decide and try to speculate and figure out what that has to do with the new season. And I also have a premiere party coming up. I don't want to say any more about that because I'm trying to iron out a few things, but I have some surprises and giveaways that I think you're going to love. And that's it. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. You have a good one.